You will never forget to do that. Why? Why is it that no matter how busy you are, you must remember to do certain things every day? Why? Why can't you say, I don't have time to take my bath? Or I don't have time to brush my teeth? Or I don't have time to, to eat. I mean, of course, here are too busy that I don't have time to eat every day. Like you are saying, you are so busy during the day, you don't have time to eat. I believe nobody. No matter how busy you are, once hunger comes, you go and find food and eat. It is the purpose, that is the driving force, the hunger. It motivates you. So you don't need anybody to motivate or talk to you that, come and eat now. You not tell person, I'm busy, I don't have time. My dear, you go and eat though. You go and eat. So my point is this: motivation, right, must be understood properly. So I want you to write this, that motivation is a process. It is simply a process. Motivation is simply a process. Write it down. Motivation is simply a process. The things you do and the things you don't do are all tied to the purpose you have attached to them. You brush your teeth because you don't want your mouth to smell. You don't want to have mouth odor. So you must brush your teeth. You don't give yourself any reason or excuse, right? You take your bath because you don't have body odor. People run away from you. Imagine you don't take your bath for 1 week. What will happen? You yourself will not be comfortable. Nobody can associate with a mad person, right? Of course, you know why. So you don't need any reason. Nobody is going to motivate you or say, please go and take your bed. No, you will do it. So everything you do and the things you don't do are tied to your purpose. The purpose you attach to them. So once you make something a priority, you are going to do it. So you are not reading because it's not a priority yet. You are not reading, it's not because of time. It's because of your reading is not a priority yet. You have not yet understood the purpose for reading. You have not yet understood why you need to read. You have not yet discovered that reading can make you 10 times valuable than you are right now. Okay? So the point is this: you need to understand what motivation means, and it begins with your why. So for the step 2, I want you to develop a strong why. What is your why? The first book I would recommend for you, write it down, is a book by Darren Hardy. I'll type it on the chat box for you. Let me type it. It's a book, one of the books I will recommend you read. All right. The book is titled Compound Effect. Remember, tonight class is just to teach you how to become a person of value, the things you have to work on to develop yourself and improve your value in the marketplace. Because if you want to attract high-paying clients, you must be a person of value. You must be someone who people will love to listen to. All right? You must be someone who people want to do business with. And imagine for a moment, all right? Imagine for a moment, if you lack a good communication skill. Let me tell you why you need to really become a person of value. Do you know that there are deals you cannot close some deals if you don't have a good communication skills? Do you understand what I'm saying? If you want to close deal, you need to have the aura. You need to have that composure. You need to be confident. Because negotiation is a skill, closing is a skill. So these skills requires a good communication ability. If you want to convince a client, not be talking and stammering. The price for this thing is like this. Once a client, I'm already teaching closing a little. Just listen. Once a client notices that your communication is not firm, you are already losing the sale. Because do you know that someone can be saying the wrong thing, but you believe the person because of how the person is saying it? I don't know if you get my point. I can be telling you something wrong that is false, but you believe me. How? Why? Because of how firm I am, my body language, how I actually... Okay, write this down. Selling is about a transfer of emotion. Just write it down somewhere. I've not started close, but let me just be talking a little about it. So my training, I usually, I try to touch other areas in the course of my training. Selling, right, is a transfer of emotion. If I want to get you to do something, I must be able to transfer the right emotion to you and make you to accept it. Because it's a transfer of belief system. I want you to buy a product I must transfer my belief about that product to you. So it's a transfer of emotion. So when I transfer it to you, you accept it and you buy. So when your communication is not firm, you don't have the right body language to prove a point, okay, it will be difficult to sell.
What happened?
So how do you learn those things if you are not reading, if you are not developing yourself? So that's why you need to read.
Bring that rag, please.
So you must find a strong why. Your why could be, I want to become a very good salesperson. So you must develop yourself by reading more books on sales to become a good salesperson. All right. So you must what? Identify a strong why. That's my point. Identify a strong why. So that book is one of the books I've recommended. I'll be recommending like 3 books to you before the end of my section tonight. Okay. That's the first one I've recommended. The Compound Effect, Darren Hardy. Read that book. You will thank me later. One of the points, the book, one of the major thing I learned from that book is about the power of choices. The power of choices. The book mentioned that your choices are only meaningful when you connect them to your desires and dreams. Your choices are only meaningful when you connect them to your desires and dreams. Listen carefully. Let me break it down. Your choices are only meaningful when you connect them to your desires and dreams. So if you have a strong desire and dream, all right, and then you connect it to your choices, you are going to take action. You want to read, right? You bring your dreams and desires, connect reading to that, you will read. It is a simple formula. You want to read. Okay, I want to become someone earning 7 figures. I want to become a big businessman. I want to become this, I want to become that. Okay, fine, that is your dream and desire. Now, what is the choice you have to make? I must make the choice of reading. So connect that reading to your dreams and desire. It becomes meaningful. You will not give excuse again. So that's why step 2 means is that the step 2 is you must discover a strong purpose for reading. All right, discover a strong purpose for reading. Let's go to the third one. Oh my God, time is going. And I've not even gone. I still have a lot of things. Okay, let me see how far. Another point is you must set a reading goal. You must set a reading goal. The way you set sales targets, all right, you must also know what? Set a reading goal. How many books do you want to read in a year? How many books do you want to read every month? Set it. Set a goal. All right, set a goal. Very important. So when setting a goal, you must realize that every goal you set, you must believe in it. You must believe that it is possible to achieve that goal. All right, you must what? Believe that it is possible to achieve that goal. So a goal without a plan is just a wish. If you set a goal, you don't have a plan, it's a wish. So when you are setting a goal, there's something I want you to do. You must set a goal, and in the course of setting your goal must follow the rule of being smart. It must be a smart goal. It must be specific. All right? It must be specific. Don't just say, I want to be reading more books. No. You must identify how many books you would like to read in a year or in a month. And then you must niche it down to daily goal. How many pages of the book are on the average you want to be reading every day? That is the specificity needed. All right? Number 2, it must be measurable. You must establish a criteria for tracking your progress to know when you have achieved that goal. So how do you track your progress? One of the things I always take record, okay? Whenever I finish a book, I write the title of the book I've read and I record it on my notebook. Okay? So it must be measurable. You must be able to track your reading, identify the number of pages you are going to read, and then make sure you follow through to ensure that you're able to achieve that goal. Next is it must be achievable. Why must it be achievable? Don't set a goal that will make you to be discouraged. For instance, you have never read up to 10 books in a month, in a year, and your first goal you are setting is you want to read 100 books in a year. Do you see it? Last year I read about 48 books in a year, right? Last 2 years I read about 30 something. Now, I could easily set a goal that I want to read 60 books or 70 books and I will achieve it. Why can I achieve it? Because I've achieved a goal closer to the one I'm setting. So your goal must be achievable in the sense that it's something that you can easily achieve within that period of time. So if you have never read up to 50 books in a year, your first goal for that year shouldn't be reading 100 books. At least you can say, okay, this year let me read just 20 books. Start with that. Or let me read 15 books. Start with that. Then once you can hit that target, the following year you increase it. So it must be achievable. Next, it must be relevant. Relevant. My dear, people's goals most times are not relevant. When you are setting your reading goal, it must be related to the area of growth you need in your life at that moment. Relevant. For instance, you are about to get married, okay? And at that moment, the kind of books you should be reading should be, how can I build a better marriage? How can I fix relationship problems? How can I overcome conflict in marriage? Books like that are relevant to your... Do you get what I'm saying? So, in setting the goal, you must know what is the most important for me. Is it making more sales right now? Is it growing my relationship? Is it expanding my business? Whatever it is, the books you should be reading should be related the goal you have. Because the ultimate goal of reading is to become a better version. There's no need reading book if it's not going to change your life and make you improve and become better and increase your value. So you must ensure that the book you are reading must be relevant to the need to your needs at that point. Okay? So if at that point you are struggling with communication, maybe you are finding it difficult to communicate with your clients, to close deals easily, the books you'll be reading at that point should set a goal to read books related to that problem you want to fix. All right? Very important. So it must be relevant. Next is that your goal must be time bound. You must set a deadline. You must set a deadline. For instance, a deadline of, okay, every month, before the end of every month, I should complete at least 2 books. That is the deadline. So by 30th of April, I should complete 2 books. Deadline. That's a smart goal I'm talking about. All right? Very, very important. Then finally, when setting a plan for your reading, you must ensure that you know the kind of books you need to read and how to get those books, and of course, where to download them. Very important. I created a video training recently where I explained how you can select books, how you can identify the books you need to read, how you can identify how to download them, how to recommend the right books. Maybe you want to learn how to increase sales in business, you want to learn more how to become a better communicator, you want to improve your self-esteem, whatever issue you want to solve. I explained in that video how you can get the right book that will solve that problem for you very easily, and how you can download it without having to spend money all the time to be buying books. I actually have a lot of hardcover books here. I bought this one. This one I bought it. This is Business Growth Strategy. I bought this one about 8,000 naira. The workbook 4,000. That is 12,000. So I buy books a lot. I invest in books a lot. But sometimes there are books you can just download. You don't have to be, investing money all the time buying books. But you need to buy books actually. But there are some books you just download. I have a lot of soft copy books. So in that video training, I explained all those things. How you can actually, do those things. All right. Now, I will tell you more about how you can get the video course at a very, very giveaway price. Then in step 4, I've explained step 3. Step 3, like I said, is setting a goal and having a plan. I believe you must have understood it, right? You must set a goal and have a plan. Then step 4 is you must establish a conducive environment for reading. Establish a conducive environment for reading. I hope we are together. Before I continue with step 4, let me do a quick recap because we have those 2 steps, step 1 and step 5. So I want you to reply with me. What are the 3 steps I've mentioned? Let me be sure you are following. I want you to type it on the chat box. What are the 3 steps I've mentioned already? Step 1, step 2, step 3. Because I want you to take note of this step. This is a blueprint I'm giving to you. If you can work on them and take them seriously, you will actually improve on your reading. All right? You improve. So just type it quickly. I'm waiting. Type it. The 3 steps I've discussed so far. I want to be sure you are following me so that you can capture it very well. Okay? Because I'm about rounding off now. So what are 3 steps?
I got locked out.
Okay. I'm sorry. All right. So those are response so I can follow through. Okay, number 1, identify reasons for not reading. Yes, identifying why you struggle. Good. That's very correct. That's very correct. Number 2, identify a strong why. Okay. Okay. Then the third one is what?
Dike, don't press anything.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm doing motorcar.
okay, the third one. Yes, set a reading goal. Set a reading goal. Correct. Someone has said it. Okay, let me go through it. Yes, you are on track.
Okay.
Identify reasons for not reading, the struggle. That is knowing why you struggle. Number 2, identify a strong why. Number 3, set a reading goal and plan. Okay, good. Now let's move on. Number 4, establish a conducive environment for reading. This is very important. Pay keen attention because those of you that are struggling with time, listen carefully. I will solve your problem right now and you'll be so happy because I will share with you strategies that will totally transform your reading journey. If you can apply the strategies, the secret I'll share with you, you are going to be happy with yourself because you discover that reading is not going to be a struggle again, right? So what you need to do is, this step requires you to establish a conducive environment. You need to actually be intentional, okay? You need to be intentional. You want to start reading more. So you have to begin to create the right environment that will make reading possible and that will make reading easy. All right? Create the right environment that will make reading easy. So what does this mean? This means that you need to realize that reading will be very difficult for you if you don't have the right environment. Okay? Yes, it's very difficult. And that's why it's been difficult for most of you. So first thing you have to do is, in your house, if you don't have a reading chair and reading table, that can be the first step you take. You buy a reading chair and table, put in your room. Some of us, it's just bed we have in our room. Right? Once you just come, you just go and lie down on your bed and sleep. How do you think you can read? That's not the right environment. Are you reading on the bed? If you read on the bed as you are reading, you'll be having temptation to sleep. Because the bed is too soft to give you the right environment to read. Sometimes as you are reading, you just say, let me rest more. As you lie down from there, you zoom up. So get a reading table and a chair, put in your room. Say, okay, from today, I baptize myself as a good reader. So buy a table and chair, put it. Once you are waking up in the morning, you are looking at your table and chair. So what do you do with a reading table and chair? You use it to what? To read. You must put your eyes there and read. So that's a way to create, one of the ways to create the right environment. Another way is, you can actually begin by getting some hard copy books. Start getting them, even if it's 1, 2, 3. And as you are getting them, be putting them in places that your eyes can see them, in your room, in your parlor, right? You can see my books here, right? So there's no way. I've created the right environment. I have the library I'm building. So there's no way I will not read. So these are the things most of you don't know. And that's why reading is a struggle. For some of us, we have big television in our houses. We don't have one book that people can read. So there's no right environment. And also you can actually be inculcating this habit to your kids because it should make them to be very smart. When you are introducing them to books and giving them access to the right resources, they'll be very, very smart. So you can buy hard copy of books, hardcover books, and then put it in your room or in your parlor. Another thing you have to do is to select the right location to read. A location that will have the following, that will meet the following criteria. Number 1, it should have it should not be noisy. The noise level should not be too high. So don't read in a noisy environment because it gets easily distracted. Another thing is the lighting. The lighting in the environment, it should be properly lighted up. There should be good lighting system so that you will not strain your eyes and get discouraged. You should also have a comfortable sitting, not the one that will make you to feel so comfortable that you feel like sleeping. It should just be comfortable to enable you to read. You should also have a way of, decluttering your environment. You must make sure that your books are not scattered on the table so that you not be distracted, right? So these are the things you do. You must make sure you select the right location. Another thing you need to also do is you also need to ensure that you are carrying books with you wherever you go. I hope you are taking note of this. I'm already sharing with you strategies.
Yes.
And each of these strategies I'm teaching you, okay? If you start applying it from tomorrow, you see that you start reading books more. And then by that, your value will start increasing because the knowledge you have is dependent on the books you read. That's the truth. That's the books you read and the friends you keep will determine your future. The books you read and the friends you keep. Because you cannot give out what you don't have. You cannot add value to people when you are not valuable. You cannot increase your worth in the marketplace if you don't increase your value. Here's a secret. If you want to 10x, if you want to double your sales, simply double your value. Once you double your value, you can double your sales because you can charge higher. Am I making sense? You can charge higher. When people see you as someone of high value, all right, that high value person you are can enable you to charge higher. Do you understand? So it's as simple as that. One of my one-on-one mentorship, I charge 150K, 200K. It's because I've increased my value. Okay? So when you increase your value in the marketplace, you can make more money. You can demand more from your audience. All right? So you must have the right environment. And you must carry a book along with you. Why do you need to carry a book along with you? Let me tell you why. For those of you that usually say you don't have time. Let's say you work in an office and you go with a book to that office. There are times in your workplace where there are downtime. That means no much activities. If you can simply bring out your book from your bag and read, even if it's 15 minutes, you read. You have solved the problem of time. Do you understand? So when you go with books, sometimes you might even go to the bank and you see that there's a queue. So instead of just staying there looking aimlessly and not reading nothing, you bring out your book and read. So that's why you carry a book along. Whenever I go out, I go with a book. It's a secret. I do it. And it helps me. So you go with a book, anywhere you go. It's a strategy. Another one is that you should be intentional with converting any of your leisure time to reading. Do you know that you can even read when this might sound funny, but it's actually a good strategy. So you can read in the toilet when you're idle. If you have PDF file, like if you don't have any reason to say you don't have time because you spend time a lot, different things that consume your time, that you're not doing anything, you're just idle. Why not convert that idle time, that leisure time, to reading? So even if in the toilet you spend there, you can read 5 lines. This is you just intentionally developing yourself and increasing your value. Do you understand? So it's one strategy, converting your leisure time. Or if you are on the bus, going to work, as you're in the bus, you can listen to audiobook. You can have an earpiece, listen to audiobook, even if it's just 15 minutes. You have gained something, you have got an insight that can change your life, that can improve your business, that can improve your relationship. Right? And other areas of your life. Okay? I believe I've been sharing a lot of ideas, and I love that because I give value without, holding back. It's just time. My trains are usually long. So please, Mrs. Somachi, give me indication, 10 minutes. So, when you want me to stop so I can summarize, because I can talk for 2 hours without getting tired. So next thing again is, before I go to the last step, another thing again is you can actually keep a reading journal. It's going to help you. It's going to help you, right? Keep a reading journal. Be jotting down the books you are reading and the lessons you are learning from those books. It will inspire you to read more books. All right? So keep a reading journal. Have where you are jotting down key points from the book. Don't just read and read and read. Write down in order to move your life forward. to have a reading journal. It's a way of keeping the right environment. Okay? Then finally, you can also, join a book club or a reading club. Very soon I'm going to be setting up a book club for my community. I have a reading community, but I want to actually have a paid book club very soon, which I'm working on. So you can join a book club, and it's going to also help you to keep up with your reading habits. Very, very important. All right? One more point before I go to step 5. One more point. Be willing to teach people what you've read from books. Share your knowledge. It's also a way to create the right environment. Share your knowledge with people. Anything you read from a book, you can share it with your friends. You can use it to create content. All right? You can share the lesson. As you are doing that, you are increasing your retention, your comprehension, and you're also making yourself inspired to read more books. That's the secret. It can help you to increase your read. It can help you to boost your reading habits and help you to become a better reader. So let's go to the last point. I believe I've said a lot of points here, and I want you to take note of those things so that it's going to help you. All right? So finally, point 5. Step 5 is you need to start small and stay consistent. Start small and stay consistent. I want you to pay attention to this. You want to build your reading habits, a good reading habit. You must start small and be consistent. Let me explain what this means. One of the reasons why you get discouraged from reading is that maybe you have told yourself, I want to be reading 2 hours every day. Every day I must read 2 hours. My dear, I'll tell you a story. There was a time last 2 years, I wanted to actually be doing exercise, right? And I had a goal. I want to be doing exercise every day. But I did something wrong. What I did was, I set my goal so high. So I told myself, every day I'll be doing exercise up to 1 hour, and I'll be doing up to 30 press up, I'll be doing this and that. Well, I started doing it. Okay, I did it the first day, I did it second day, I did it third day, I was doing it. Okay, I managed to do for 1 week. Then after that 1 week, there was a time, the kind of pain I experienced, oh my God. The pain was too much. My muscles, I couldn't release my hand. There was a time I was taking my breath. My hand was as if it was hanging. I was like, Jesus, what is going on? I was thinking I wanted to lose my hand because the pains were too much. The summary of everything was that I stopped doing the exercise. I gave up. So the pain was too much that I couldn't be consistent again. So I found it difficult to continue with that exercise. So that thing taught me a lesson. And the lesson it taught me was that if you want to do something, you should start small. Don't just set a high target. A very high target could discourage you because your brain has not been trained, be accustomed to doing it that way. So you want to first of all start training your brain little by little. Then from there you advance. So here's the point. In your reading, you need to start little. Okay? Even if it's 20 minutes, 15 minutes, my dear, just read 15 minutes in a day. Let it be you are doing it consistently. So consistency in reading is more important than intensity in reading. So you should choose consistency over intensity. It's better to read for 15 minutes every day than to read for 3 hours times in a week. So consistency is better than intensity. So you need to take note of that. It's going to help you. So let me give you some strategy for starting small and staying consistent as I wrap up with this discussion. Number 1, you must start with simple books that interest you. Do you know why you need to do that? Remember, you want to develop it as a habit. So you need something that will motivate you to be reading. So begin with books that will interest you. Don't go and start with books that are complicated. Let me say you want to start reading and you start reading scientific books that you don't have much interest. You will give up. You'll be discouraged and you no longer find reading interest. So look for what are those kind of books that interest you? What are those kind of books that makes you to be interested in reading more? Start with those books. So that's the first step, to start small and be consistent. Okay? It started with something that will give you momentum. The other person started with something that will keep him stuck. So at a point, Mr. B will get tired of that book and be bored and quit reading. So don't quit reading. So anything that makes you to quit reading, what do? Avoid it. Okay? Anything that makes you to quit reading, avoid it. Next point is you should start reading for just at least 15 to 20 minutes in a day for a start. Like I'm teaching you how to start small, right? Have a target every day, 20 minutes. I'm going to read every day. Set it as a target. Okay? Forget about reading for hours. Start with just 20 minutes. Do it for 1 week. Do it for 2 weeks. Do it for 3 weeks. You will see that you must have started mastering the habit. So from there, you cannot increase from 20 minutes to 30 minutes, from 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Personally, I can read for 2 hours without getting tired. So this is something that is going to transform your life if you can master it. The next thing is start with a simple reading routine. Start with a word, simple reading routine. What does that mean? Have a time. If you know you are going to be busy during the day and you don't have time, stop waking up late in the morning. Wake up earlier. Maybe wake up 30 minutes earlier. If you are waking up by 6 a.m., wake up by 5:30 a.m. and read for 30 minutes before 6 a.m. You normally wake up. So have a simple reading routine. I'm going to read between 5:30 to 6 o'clock. I'm going to read between 5:45 to 6:15 a.m. Just find a simple reading routine and it's going to help you to keep up with it. Then finally, you need to track your progress and celebrate your progress, no matter how small. As you start making progress in your reading, track your progress. And any little progress you make, celebrate it. It's going to transform you because it's going to inspire you more to do more reading. So as we wrap up this section, I want to summarize it by reminding you once more that the essence of this section is to teach you how to become more valuable. And the fundamental of doing that, of achieving a better reader, becoming a good reader, is going to make you more valuable. Remember my earlier points. I told you that visibility does not equal what? Success. Okay? The world does not just need people who are visible. It needs people who are valuable. Let that sink into your brain so that you realize that being valuable is more important than being visible, because once your visibility matches with your being valuable, then your value in the marketplace will increase. And then you can charge higher prices from people and they'll be willing to pay you. So this is where I'm going to wrap up this section, and I believe with a few things I've actually shared, must have learned some ideas that can help you to improve your value in the marketplace. Okay, thank you for having me. So you can start up to attend to them. All right. I'm with you. Go ahead.
Which books can we get? Can we start buying